Video.
Sift as well.
You did such a good job last week. Did you get it out, by the way, for the covering?
Yeah.
The guy, I left.
Nice, yeah. Look, the Rebbe, like this. That is just to be explained. Achsis enhances. Ma'avi brings the Emek to Pirush of Derech HaPshat, of Derech HaRemz, of Derech HaDrush. Derech Zeh Gam B'chilik HaSeid Sheb'Meidani. So it is also true in the Seid of Meidani. It says, goes back to the Pirush of Kabbalah, Shemelech Chai V'Kayim. Kabbalah explains, you know what it means, Melech Chai V'Kayim? Who Sfiras HaMalchus K'vish Mecheres Im Sfiras HaYisei. The Sfiras HaMalchus is connected with Yisei. And that's from this level comes the returning of the neshama. Hine comes chassidus nei, so as that chassidus beres must be this. We're going to be sichlim kachol yom shel Kabbalah. Besides, chassidus explains it with intellectual explanations. Like all the yom of Kabbalah shabirim b'seich loy dech chassidus davke. Who explains Kabbalah? Chassidus. We learned the art before. It's not that chassidus is a Kabbalah, a beer for Kabbalah. The forget, but at the end of the day, you do understand it through Chassidus. It's the Neshama of Kabbalah. Yeah. We had an order, somewhere before we had it.
Beginning more, no?
Yeah, in the beginning. Not mamish in the beginning.
So it's not a steer towards everyone.
I don't think it's a stir mamish because it could be that I don't know. We're just saying that it explains. It's explained in Chassidus. During the Seichel, brings down the Seichel.
It's not really this. But I was listening to a shiur, and a guy said about Musar and Chassidus, Kabbalah, Chassidus. You put the book together. He's saying at the end of the day, Musar, fix yourself. Chassidus, you get lost in Heichin Yanim, but it's not. Isn't there where?
You know the story, the difference between Musa and Chassidus, that the Musa, you try to scream at the Ghana, you chase him out of the house. Chassidus takes the Ghana,
Changes
transforms him. Becomes a new person.
Not Ghana anymore.
Yeah, he's Ghana.
He's scarfing his up.
Changes the person, yeah. I'm glad of the scarf. Chassidus also goes to the scarf. But yeah, yeah. Okay, so he says like this, in days. More than the fact that this explains the Yom of Kabbalah, we feel what it means. It's another yin. Lives in a different light. So he says, what's the beer of Peter Zapichsis? He says like this. Can I explain? Sfiras HaMalchus, he, Chinas HaLukus HaSheyachas Leila. Like he says, Ein Mele B'Layam. Abish is a source for the world. That's Malchus. That's Melucha. Kingdom, the Shachas, the Zula Shachas, the otherness, the Elohim. From it comes Zman and Mokim. Time and space. So you say, the Prince Shalom get the Shachas to Elohim. As opposed to you say, is Elokus it's higher than having a Shachas to the world. Shalachein, Chol Amid Shalom is for Samalas, and Shalom Gidra Mokim Vazman. Anything higher than Malchus is no, the Dorim of Mokim Zman don't exist. What does this mean? What is he saying? It's higher than Mokum Uzman. Gina Midas Elam is Batam Azman da Mokum Mzusul Gamri. When these Midas are revealed, there's no more Zman and Mokum. In other words, the world loses its Metzias. What does it mean to unite Malchus with Yisei? Is Giler and Sof Shalamayla Me'elamis, B'Pchinas Alkus HaMislabeshes Be'elam. This is one of the hardest things to understand in Chassidus. Unification, unity of Das Elyon and Das Tachton. On one hand we say the world is insignificant, Das Elyon. On one hand we say that the world is significant, that Eivish creates it, and everything is, the whole world and all its inhabitants are all dependent on the Eivish. There's two days, whatever, different messages. I think of Yichud Malchus, when you say this, the unification of these two realities, that the Elokus Shalamayla Me'elamis should be united with the Elokus which is in the world. What does this mean? What is that Yichud? things come together. What comes together? Jede Sache durch sein Inyan. Here, Yichud means they override one each other. They override one another. What is the Pshat? Yichud HaMachzam, when you say, is Gilel Kus, Rizos L'Malmen, is Prinzal Kus HaMislabeshes Be'elu. And also, the Chur, once you have the Yichud of Malchus, you say the Chur Malchus Verdeis Metzias. Malchus loses itself. It's not about Malchus anymore. It's about Yisei. It's about the Elokus Hecher. In other words, when you reveal that the Eibush is higher than Elamis, so there's no place for Elamis. So what's the Pshat? That's Misgili and social Malchus, Bibkin Elokus HaMislabeshes Be'elu. That's my question. We'll see if he answers it. We'll see where he takes us. Zehu Mashachzor San Neshama Bo Mibchinas Melchai V'Kayom. Now understand why the Neshama is returning. Comes dafka from the level of Melchai V'Kayom. That the Melech is Chai. Melech is Malchus. Chai means Yesed. Melchai is the Malchus is Meyuchad with Yesed. Why? Why do we need that? Why not enough that should come from Melech? Zor San Neshama should call Baker. When you bury Chadosh, can also feed him. We said earlier, in Pshat, the Ramaz, I believe, and we said the returning of the Neshama every morning is a new creation, not just Chibur Neshama V'Guf in a stronger way. It's a new existence. Although that in actuality that means who makes it happen, through whom does it happen, who's the conduit is Malchus. Why? It's a mid, Shalom, there would never be a yesh altogether. In order to be a yesh, you need Malchus, because Malchus gives us this smokum for otherness. So Malchus is a good tool. Like Dibur, you say, Malchus is Dibur, let's say, for example. So using Dibur as a marshal for Malchus. So we say that when a person speaks, he speaks to other people. So there's other, same thing here, Lamailos, L'Kaviyachol, when the Eibishter has Melucha, has Dibur, there's a Zulas, there's an Elamis. Hashem said, Midas, everything is a din in him, a prat in him. He's a kind person, he's a person's kind. If he only is told chesed, it's at his chesed, not because there's the kavanah Chenina. It's everything is a din in him, everything is a prat in him. Saying Lamailo, Kaviyachol, that everything is a prat in the Eibishter. The Eibishter is chesed, the Eibishter is kind, therefore he made a world. It's that there's no world really. The whole being of the world is the Eibishter's kindness, the Eibishter's chesed. In order to be able to be a world, the way the world sees itself as a separate entity, the way it feels itself, that's only through Melucha. That's what he says. Although this is true, but how does Malchus get the power to create Yesh Me'ayin? Is from Atzum Seir and Sof, which is higher than having a Shaykh's Le'elamis. In other words, like this. In order to create the world, you need to have two opponents. On one hand, there has to be a relationship to the world. That's Melucha. It's a Sheni. In order that it should happen, this jump from Ayin to Yesh, we need Keich of Atzum Seir and Sof. Which is Shalamayla Meged the Shaykh's Le'elamis is not Shaykh to the Yin of Le'elamis. He's not even an ayin. He's higher than being an ayin. This is a new beer of the Rebbe, which is not saying Chassidus earlier, I think. Maybe it does, but the Rebbe is trying to look at the Geras HaKedesh, which it says another beer, and Beif Nacher. It's mashma over here, the Rebbe Mechadish, a new word. Who could create Atmos Ein Sof, which means the Eibishter himself, the Atmos Ein Sof, not Atmos Alein, Musaf Atzmus, he says in order, Einig Geras HaKedesh Simchov, Musaf Atzmus Chulu Hulu Vadi, that only the Eibishter could create, Al Shabir Shomu Beif Nacher. Over there is another explanation. But here, this explanation is that since he's beyond any connection to the world, not even as an Ayin of the Yesh, therefore he could make Ayin Yesh. He could transform from Ayin to Yesh. So this l'chora, these lines need a few hagdamas l'chora. First of all, not for you, but I'm saying stam to say it. And what's the taich ayin? Ayin is not the taich nothing. Nothing makes nothing. Ayin means elikus. He's not a metzias. He's heder ha-metzias. He's ayin. He's not a metzias yet. He didn't come to call metzias. Yesh means bol kol metzias. So the ayin and yesh are opposites. The Eivim Tzis of the ayin and the Eivim Tzis of yesh are opposites. I'm saying the words Eif Rametzias, it's wrong. It's the head Rametzias, the Ayin, which is head Rametzias, is a stira to Yesh, which is a Metzias. Not head Rametzias is not existent. It's not Boli Klal Metzias yet. So, therefore, it can't create Kivyoch, because it's a stira to the Yin of Yesh. But the Eivish himself, which is not Mugdir to say even that he's a Ayin, you can't even say anything about him. Therefore, he could make that from non-existence, not existence as not the Klal Metzias, should become Klal Metzias. That's what he's saying over here in these words. So that's what he's saying. Absolute Shalamayla Megeder Shaychas Leilam is even in the Eifn of Ayin. It says Ayin is already a Yachas to the world. He's saying there's not a Yesh yet. That's already Shaychas Leilam. Absolute himself means he can't say anything about him. You can't even say that he's not Megeder Shaychas Leilam. Even Eifn of Ayin. Therefore, he could do anything. The Milah Machedes, you could say in Tanya also, he says, in different places.
In every level is the Ayin.
The Amitas Ayin is that he's the Chlanish Megeder Ayin. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but the Ayin what it says here is
It's
every
a Geder of
level.
Ayin.
It's a Geder
It's
of
a Geder of Ayin. The Geder of Ayin, Mamela, he's a Stir to Yesh. Who could make Yesh? Only someone that's not even Ayin.
So sag man sich, Yesh Amitis is the Ayin is the Yesh and that's the Ayin. So it's
The Yesh HaAmitis Take, the Em is Sefaran. The Em is Sefaran is the Taichas that is Hakam Kol Dorim.
das ist der Eberste.
Ja. Aber nicht als ein Geder von Ayin. Ayin als ein Geder, yeah. So what I want to bring out, what I want to say. So the word from Tanya, I don't know why it doesn't bring it here, but maybe to help understand it. If he doesn't bring it, maybe it's B'chal Negei, but I'm just going to say it anyways. But the idea of Yesh Me'ayin says there's two pratim in Yesh Me'ayin. First of all, the Eibush has the power to create a world. It's Gewalt. Meirik Gezach. There's another union that who creates the world? Who is the creator? Who is the Mahava? That Alter Rebbe speaks about in Tanya, Perek Mem Gimel, there's two pratims, Yir Tato, Yir Lo. Yir Tato is the afloah from the Eibush created the world. There's so many worlds. Afloah. But that's chitzenis. That's Yir chitzenis. Why? Because we're not tapping into who the creator is. It's more about what he did, not who he is. Then there's Yir Pnimis, Yir Lo. Yir Pnimis is coming from the Pnimis Elakusha B'Teich Elamis. He sees who is the creator, who is the Meilid Me'ayin Le'esh, who made Me'ayin Le'esh. The Pnimis Elakusha B'Teich Elamis, the Eibishter. Who is the Eibishter? Who is he? Who could make such a flawed Kirinian of Yesh Me'ayin? It has to be, it has no Gdorim B'chlal. Has no Gdorim, therefore he could make. What's the answer? It says that B'cheka Nivroyim, we don't have the yin of Yesh Me'ayin. Why? Because a Nivra is a Yesh, is a Geder, and everything he makes has to be massive to his way of existence. To make something from nothing, is for not a thing, you have to be not a thing, then the Kufi, you get on the issue that the not a thing is a stira to a thing. Maybe it's a stira, ayin is a stira to yesh. How is it going to happen? So it has to be not a thing. He's beyond anything. You can't say anything about it. And therefore, he can even make opposites. He can make from lasis me'ena yeshne. It's loshna chakir, lasis me'ena yeshne. Brought down Achsidus in a few places, whatever, in many places. He's not going to sign every loshna, whatever he comes from, fine. Mashenkin, he says, Mashenkin, Shaykh Leilam is Mugdru Kivyochel B'Agdoris Eilu, has the Agdoris of Ayin, and Memeli Kivyochel can make the Yesh. Why does he say Kivyochel? Because Kamuvan, since it's a Lakus, any level of a Lakus, he can't say any Gdorim. So what's that Kivyochel? So really, there's a lot of places in Chassidus, there's places in Chassidus that's explained, Memale and Seviv, if who could create Yesh Me'ayin, Memale cannot create, quote unquote, Kaviyachal, and who could create only Seviv. Why could Seviv create? Because he's Kel Yochel. He has no definition, no description. So because he has no description, anything could happen. He could even make a jump from Ayin to Yesh. Mashenk in Memale, so can't do it Kaviyachal. But Amol state, why can't Memale Taka do it? Why can't Memale make this jump from from Ayin Liyesh, because his Inyana is Gilui. He has to be felt. Wherever he is, he has to be in his Gala, because Mamali is Gilui. Seviv could be Behel. So therefore, since Mamali is Gilui, so therefore, wherever he's going to be revealed. If he's going to be revealed, there's not going to be a place for a Yesh. In other words, he's a stir to the mitzvahs of the Yesh. Hashem can Seviv is not a stir to the mitzvahs of Yesh. He's higher than being a stir to the Yesh. He doesn't have to be Begilu in order to be somewhere. Therefore, he could create Yesh Me'ayin. He's not mitzvah to all these places. I don't know why. It's a new beer. It's the beer Mechudesh over here. It's not Masach. What's the Chiddush punkt in this paragraph over here? What the Rebbe says, Al Shabir Shom Beifenacher, Sorchi and Rav, and I'll leave it for everybody. But Ulai, this is a little bit At'ima what it's saying over here. Fine. Okay. So what do we have over here? Who could create only Ein Sof Shalomayim Meshachs Leilamas? Who could come to such a recognition? Who could recognize the Eibishter is higher than Gedorim? Only Yechid. And in this go there's two pratim, two inyanim. Why? Aleph ha'kore ba'atzmus ein sof. Efshor yisrak b'tzat b'chinas zu shalom neshama michadz b'atzmus yisborach. Who could recognize the essence of the Eibishter is beyond the world, beyond any description? Is only to this level of the neshama, which is one with the essence of the Eibishter. Since every nefesh ruach neshama chaya is connected with a different world, so they cannot connect, they cannot realize the essence of the Eibishter, the essence of the Ein Sof even, because they're not miyuched with it. That's mitzad who creates. Beis. Also, the real recognition in the Chiddush of Yesh Me'ayin, Sheyakir, that a person should recognize, not only understand. Understanding is one thing, but he should actually realize it. It should actually have to get it, like they say. There's no place for the Yesh to exist. Not just that it shouldn't be, he should. There's no reason for it. There's no place for him to be. He's not supposed to be. And the only reason he's here is because the Eibusha makes him. Which this tells me because he's a new thing. He's a Yesh Me'ayin. He didn't have to be. He's a ischatches. He's a real ischatches. Which that makes him recognize that who could do it? Only Atzmus Ein Sof. Which is not mugdar in the gather of ayin. Who recognizes that the yesh has no mitzvah mokim, that the world has no place, that's all mitzvah chida dafke kanal sifid gimel. That we said in the word that the world is not supposed to be, or supposed to not be. Supposed to not be. That's only Yechida comes because he knows the only really existence is the Eibishter. Besides the Eibishter, no existence exists. So this is what he's saying over here, that who could tell me this Tifa Pshat in the Melech Chai V'Kayim, that Malchus creates the Keach of Yesed, because Miyuchad with Yesed. This also explains the questions we ask, why is Malchus going to connect with Yesed? What's the Pshat in this? That Malchus realizes my whole Keach is really coming from Yesed. How could I create? Only because I'm connected with the Eibush, which is higher than being a source for the world. The Rebbe speaks about the idea of Rotzev Eshuv, and there's a Sikha of the Rebbe, that the Dvar Havaya is Rotzev Eshuv. It's Shuv, it comes to connect, to create a world. So Sheni, it's always connected with the Atzvus Ein Sof, which is higher than being a source for the world. And that's the only way it could create. If it would be only a mocker for Elamis, you wouldn't be able to create it. It has to be revealing that you know who I come from. Ich come from Atzvus Ein Sof. It's like a shliach, if you want the marshal or whatever. Yeah. Kecham Shaleach, therefore he's able to go out. But if he's only going to go out, he's going to lose his connection. He's not going to be able to be pale. He needs both. He's only going to be in the mocker. He's not going to be able to be pale either. He has to be malchus. He needs both hafochim. Fine. Now the Rebbe goes to connect all these biyurim that Chassidus brings to the Pshat Rebbe's Lushasot together. Biyurim shul Chassidus b'dal chal kaparas shul meidanik shurim zeh b'zeh. For the parts of Paris and Meidani are connected. Why? Firstly, like this. That's when a person recognizes that the only creator is only Atzpus and Sof, which is higher than the Gdon of Yesh and Ayin, that's mechazekes as a kodesh shekol elam suschachim tovim ma'ayin ve'efes hamukol. That makes him more realize that he's actually coming from nothing. He wasn't supposed to be here at all. Abir, which that's mechilik haremes shebesh meidani. That's explanation in the remes of meidani. Why do you say this? If the creation of the world would be coming from Malchus on its own, since the world is Tefis Mokim, you wouldn't be able to say that the world's actually a new thing. Where am I reading? Right? What happened is that I have in my head that the artist is supposed to be a different number. Something happened over here. Did add an artist over here?
I don't know. I printed it from.
There is something added.
Something's added.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought that I went in rebuttal.
You're saying in the Sefer Erechim?
No, and Lagabi Sefer Erechim. Is this something added?
I didn't print from Sefer Erechim.
I know you did not Sefer Erechim. Sefer Erechim, this would be a different numbers, I think, the artist. Okay, fine. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, okay, fine. That's why I got mixed up. Okay, fine. Nah.
Let's feel it good, maybe. I don't know.
This is Chelik Mem? No.
I don't know. I got it
This
from
could be
somewhere
Chelik
else.
Mem.
I got it from somewhere else.
You don't know where. Okay.
I know where I got it from.
Where?
No, Chabad.org.
Okay, fine.
I don't know where they got it from.
Okay, it could be my shortcoming. Okay, we'll check it later. Okay. So he says like this. This comes from Abir B'Chel Kadam Shuvimei. The fact that so how does a person come to recognition that the world's not supposed to be here at all? Comes from the recognition that the world is being created from Atzmos and Sof. If Malchus itself would be the creator, since the world means something to her, why? Because that's her tafkid, so to speak, that she's a mahave, she's a beire. We couldn't say that there's a chiddush in the whole, in the source of their existence. You can't say that their whole being is a new thing. Ki al derech v'dugmas is very able. This line that the Rebbe is going to say here. It's like mashan neshama mechayis aguf. It's like what the neshama gives life to the body. Shigam bli achayis shemei neshama yesh lemitzias. Even without the life of the neshama, the guf has a mitzias. So although the neshama is giving a lot to the guf, it's giving it's baleptim. But we can't say that the whole being of the guf is the neshama. The guf has existence without it. Al derech zeh, if the world would be created from Malchus, the world would be mischadish b'chol iker mitzius. It would be part of the world. Would it be a mischadish? What does this mean, b'chlal? Well, let's finish till the paragraph, and we'll get back to this. This is not understood b'chlal. The Rebbe speaks that. This says that Dain Tzarechim. We'll soon see this. There's nothing to the world at all. So there's nothing to them. Their whole being is renewed from Ein Sof itself. Since the world's been created from the Eibishter himself, which the Eibishter, nothing has value, so the Bechlal have nothing to them. So everything about them is becoming renewed anew from the Eibishter. That's what he's saying. The Rebbe is going to ask a few questions. One question. Fine. Should we learn 111 and 112 or only 112? Let's do 112. Let's do 112. 111 is Okay, 112. So Rei Derech Tzitzecha, Shema Shemavur B'Shar Yichud HaEmunah Perek Vav Bein Ein Heid, She'ein Afilu Dover Tofel. This is what it says in Shar Yichud HaEmunah Ein Ein Heid, that it's not even a Dover Tofel, V'lei Kaguf Shu Tofel An Neshama, Hu L'Gabi B'Chinas HaSeiv V'Davke. So he brings a raya. That it says Shar Yichud HaEmunah, that the Taich of Ein Heid is not even something which is Eid, Zarma L'Kai Be'edi, Eid is the Guf. There's Ein Heid, there's no even Dover Tofel, not like the Guf which is Tofel to the Neshama. Hu L'Gabi B'Chinas HaSeiv V'Davke, because Davke L'Gabi Seiv. Shalachin. Therefore, a goy which only knows about memali, they consider the Eibishter as a neshama to a body. Taka, the world needs the Eibishter, but it's like a neshama to a body. Ayin shom look there in Derech Tzitzecha. It's clear that Lagabi Seviv, the world's bechlal nothing, but Lagabi memali, it's tough. Einshom. Or L'chor, fragt der Rebbe Amerika, gesturmte Gescheilu. Harigam, l'shitosu of the goy, behech, sheyedesh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, beres in the Vroim, v'lerek l'chayis and b'vad. They know that the Eibush is creating the world. They know the Eibush creates the world. So not just it gives its life. So b'meila, how could they say that it's like a neshama l'guf? That's what he asks on the Derech Tzitzecha, the Rebbe. And for the Rebbe, a biur, since their mamale says there's an since mokum to the in of elamis, but sad mamale elamis should be. So once the world was created, Taki, he creates them, but once he creates them, bit elamis later zeh after kol mitzvus humi men of a rak chiyusam. But once they're here, what's their feeling? Who dugmas bit laguf lenefesh. This is the punchline. But the word that I'm saying is that since the whole life is coming from, according to them, comes from Mamali. Mamali says Sedarv Zayin Havel. Sedarv Zayin Havel. So I don't feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. True, you made me, but I'm not supposed to be here. And therefore, you can't say that everything I have is only coming from you.
Why not?
Of course, that's the Dain Tzorchim.
Where's the stira? Bis da Dain Tzorchim.
Bis da Dain Tzorchim answers like this.
Was die Goyim sagen, wie kann sie trachten, dass der habe ich schon geschaut, how can you say that now is going to be...
Why not?
Why can't I? So the answer is that they could. Why? Because since the Eibishter creates them in such a way, that he needs them in order to be mashlim his mailam as long as there's a beide. So the Mela, you can't say that there's nothing to them, there's nothing to the world. Kiguf l'neshama means there's something to me, and I need you to be mashlim me. Say there's nothing to me, you can't say that. That's what the Rebbe is saying. And the Rebbe says because at the end of the day, the Eibush is creating their whole being. Everything they have is coming from him. If not for the Eibush, they don't exist at all. So what's that kiguf l'neshama? Kiguf l'neshama is figuratively. It's not practically. That's what he's saying. Dugmas guf l'neshama. Dugmas bitla guf l'nefesh.
If you're here, it means that Eibush wants you here.
Yeah, but why are you here? Not because Seviv does says that the Darfur Zayin came Welt, so Darfur Zayin was will but werden. Not because there's a value to creation.
But he wants it. So
he wants it is because he can do whatever he wants. That's why he made it. That's what says Seviv. Seviv with the Pshat Rotzen. Rotzen Pshat. What Pshat? When is pure Rotzen? Pure Rotzen means anything I want goes. Not because I need it. If I need it, it's Hechlech. It's not Rotzen. I need it. That's Mitzad Mamalim. Mitzad Mamalim is like Geder, Shaykh, Lemitzizel.
Why is the fact that the Goyim are made that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu Beres and Ivroim astira to say that they're the Neshama L'guf?
To say the Eibush is Neshama L'guf means the Neshama L'guf means that there's a guf. He needs chayis from the Neshama, but here the Eibush is baited. The whole guf the Eibush is baited. So it's not guf for the Neshama.
The same
creating. That's the question of the Rebbe. That's the Rebbe's kasha. The Eibush is Bashav Zeichet like this. What is this? This is what they added? This is where it's coming from?
Yeah.
Looks like they write in the first thing that they added.
Oh, you did, you know, because I'm okay. I get it. Okay. It's not the mugdi b'sikh. Okay, fine.
אז הם בכלל רב, בכלל מצולק.
Call me some good.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, whatever.
That's why we have the old, that's why we have the real version.
Yeah.
It gets scary to know. Okay, fine. Okay, not gonna go there.
Yeah, at least someone got scared. I didn't get scared.
Anybody?
No, I didn't know it was off by one.
Only up by one? I think it's up by 5 hours.
You mean it's 105 really?
It's 106 and 107, I think, if I remember correctly. I just looked at it. It's not like
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mele, Bo, let's try to finish this paragraph. This goes. Mele, how does it? Mele, Bo, la korsa akos, once he realizes that the world's not supposed to be here, everything about it is only because the Eibusher made it to be. Then it comes to recognition that there's nothing other than Hashem. The Eibusher is nothing to the world. There's nothing to it. So he comes to the real recognition that there's nothing to the world. And in such a case, the outcome of this will be just to live. Fleish kalem like a ikar, like a peasant, like I said before. Gamli mitzias b'derech is also not a mitzias. Mitzias hirak is kashas b'lukus to connect to Hashem. Why? Because the only existence is Hashem. The canal b'bir Chassidus is b'chelik hapshat shebemeidani. Like we said, what Chassidus added to the pshat of Meidani. And for this recognition, she'ein movadei. Hari poshet etzlei shebekim tzivi HaKadosh Baruch Hu yefsh la'arv afil liketofel shum tam v'tachlis acher. So when this recognition, she'ein movadei, it comes to recognition that when you come to do a mitzvah, you can't mix in any other reasons, any other gains. It has to be only solely because the Eibusher wanted. That's the Kanal B'Birach Sis B'Chelik Hadusha Meidani when it came to explain what's the Drusha Meidani, which we spoke about Bariches of Yerech. Explained it that it's not to give back the Bikadon, even though that the other person owes you money, you should give it back to the Bikadon. And why? Because even though you have side gain, but you're doing the mitzvah not because of a gain. You're doing the mitzvah is solely, yeah, because the Eibusher wants. That's all comes up from the outcome of the hair of Einem Movade, which comes from, why is that the hair of Einem Movade? Because there's nothing to anything other than Hashem. How does he get to that? Because he realized who creates the world, the Eibusher himself. Fine. Hoe oud is hij? 39 Shem?
Oh,
Dat is niet
36.
40?
936, exactly.
Should we start next piece? Let's start next piece. Okay. Yitzhak. Beginning of Yechide. We said before that the level of Yechide, Liyoisa Atzmis, Eino Sheilel says a Nefesh Ruch Neshama Chaya. Being that it's the essence, or you want to say it's the core, it's the thing itself, it's the neshama itself. It's not negating the nefesh of neshama chaya. On the contrary, adrabe hi ha'etzem shel kol madrigas haprotiyos. This is the etzem of everything. Not like the Rebbe speaks about it in the Atat Tzavi. You have the etzem the way it's mush, it's a stirit protim. That's when it's a gather of pshita, so to speak. Then you have the etzem and the shama mamish, which is koil the gdorim. All the gdorim are in there as well. That's what he says over here as well. He says the etzem is the etzem of everything. Everything is dependent on it. Everything is coming from it. Shezo echad achiluk shem gilu le'etzem. Gilu in proti. V'chein yonim she'einam gilu shalei. He's nicht der. Einam hu. What does this mean? He says, Gilui and Etzem, what's the difference of Gilui and Etzem? Gilui means, Gilui, Amayla, Inyan, a Teichen. So it's Prati. Whatever is not him, is not him. And on the contrary, since he's a Gilui, he's going to negate them. Masha Ein Kein Etzem, it's hard to understand, but this is what the Rebbe is saying. Etzem is a different type of existence. Hu ha'atzmi shel kol inyan v'inyan. The essence of everything. It's the essence of everything. It's not the taich that you can't negate anything from him. Why? Because if it's the etzem, like you said before, the moshel of shemen, you find shemen in everything. Why? Because this is the essence. Essence is everywhere. What's essence? The essence of existence is existence. Is the existence of everything. You can't negate anything from him because he is. If it has a way of being, so whatever is not fitting to his way is not him. He negates it. To see the Eibusher in everything. To unite everything with that. Also, this Hadgosh of Chassidus, since Chassidus is Etzem, therefore it does this thing of Yichud HaPratim Im Etzem. גם הדגוש הזו טובן יסר מהחיה שבחסידס מכניסה בכל דל חלקי הפרט שבמידני. This stress is also more understood from the life that Chassidus gives into all four parts of Pardes and Meidani. Shatram Drushsod of Meidani. B'inyan Asfiris, where do you see the yichud of the pratim with the etzem? He says in Sfiris you see it chelik haseid. Gam b'chinas hamalchus atzmo miyuchedes m'sfiris hayisid. Even malchus itself as a separate, l'chur it's a separate entity, is also connected with yisid. Achnayis l'minyanachad melech chai v'kayim. The melech itself is chai v'kayim. Over mele, this is going to explain us what we gain by the yichud of the Eretz of Shachlims, the Eretz of Shlomayim Shachlims. Not that Shein Movadi, there's no world outside the Eibishter. No world is in existence, and we're living in an illusion. Not to run away from the world. In the world itself, as is connected with the Eibishter. Why? Because the Melech is Chai V'Kayim. The Eretz of Shaykh Le'ilam is higher than Welt. Welt is nicht Welt, or from nicht Welt is in the Welt. You don't have to run away from the world to be connected with the Eibishter himself. In the world we have the Eibishter himself. Now, being a mitzvah, where do we see the connection of Etzem and Pratim? She says, Chelik HaDrush. גם המצווה שיש עליהם טעם, ונקראים את הרסיים ושם משפוטים, מסעכדים, ויקורם הוא הרוצן שלו מעל מהטעם. Chassidus takes and Megala the Ichud of Prati with the Etzem, just like they did with the Sfiris, and Megala the Ichud of the Chayis of the Kiyah of Shachs Leilam, the Chayis of the Kishon Malam Shachs Leilam is so to in mitzvahs, that the mitzvahs which have reason, and they call it Mishpotim, are united, and the main point of them is the will of the Eibusher is higher than any reason. Then there's being a Bria. Chelik HaRemez. Gam inyan elam k'mei shem nirim leineinu. Shabri naisik v'alam tziz b'fnei atzma. Even in worldly matters which seem to be to us, that the creation already became an entity for itself. Therefore we don't feel the novelty, the schadshus, which happens every single moment. Still, the Eibusher brings into the world, which seems to be an entity which is already set and is what it is for itself. Every morning, the Eibusher renews the world in such a way that it's renewed that it becomes a new thing. Just like in the beginning of creation, the Eibusher created the world from nothing to something. That's what happens in the Metzias, which seemingly sees itself for a thing for itself. It seems itself to be a Metzias. That's what he said, that the biur, it connects the feeling of separatism, of being a mitzvah for ourselves, with the reality that everything is being chadish b'chol rega.
But you don't feel it. You don't.
The Rebbe said that every morning we do this, we do see it.
It happens, but you don't feel it. It's not good. Einer margish. Shloch in einer margishim.
Magishim, yeah, but we can know.
Shloch in ein on margishim.
Right, that's the mitzvahs of the world the whole time.
Right.
Chadish all the way
This
to
is
call
always
Baker.
the
He's
Emunah.
Chadish all the mitzvahs of Kishma Tzimerations. Since once we
Kein
make
von
kasha,
Emunah.
these two verkehrt inyonim. No.
It's a remez.
Chelik HaRemez, we said that the world, we say that like Tchis HaMesim. The Remez said that it's Tchis HaMesim. So since it's Megala, that the Bosch, the way of seeing a person waking up in the morning, that's only his kash, his chas, his kashas ad shama v'agov, is really Tchis HaMesim, because really it's not supposed to be.
So it's a mona.
Everything is Emunah. Emunah on Emunah at Megarish. Rabba Emunah said. I think he's saying more than, I don't know. But look what he says. Gam binyanim vision. Okay. Now he says, more than that he says, even when he feels he's just thanking for his life, in this, he feels, or does Dr. Shenya nirgish.
Okay, das ist ein Nirgisch. Das ist ein Filter, ja. Steht auf Eid, no?
He's just thanking that he's alive. He feels that what's life? Only that he's a Jew. That's the only real reason of existence. It's the fusion of the opposites. That's what he's saying. He's a do in Metzias. He's in reasoning. He's in Hergish Metzias Afne Atzme. He's in just thanking that I'm alive. Over there, go for Herzachon, the deeper dimension. Okay, stop. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No.